So we're always emphasizing how important meditation is, right? Like the importance of meditation. And when we engage in virtuous actions of body and speech, this kind of virtue is conditioned virtue, exhaustible virtue. But when we meditate, we are accumulating inexhaustible, unconditioned virtue. And so this is very important because as we meditate, we gain familiarity, we become conversant, familiar. And so when we die, like I was saying, all of the stages of dissolution, when all of the elements dissolve back into the basic ground of everything, then if we have become accustomed to this nature through our actual practice of meditation in our lives, then when we are in the stages of disillusionment at death, we don't have to again fall back into confusion, but we can be liberated, we can be free in that state. For example, like a glass container, a jar, there is the empty space inside of the jar, and then there is the empty space all around outside. As long as you have a jar, then there's the sense that there's this empty space inside the jar, and whatever the shape of that jar is, that is going to be the shape that the space inside appears to take. But suppose the jar is broken. The space inside of the jar doesn't have to do anything in particular. It just becomes one with the space that has always been all around it. And so this is what is known as the realization or awakening into the expanse of Dharmakaya. And this is again why it is so important for us to meditate and to gain practice through meditation in our lifetime. So because whether we have the practice or not will become apparent at this point, and this will be the point at which we can, if we have practiced, we can be free. And if we have not gained familiarity through practice, then we could again fall right back into the same cycle of confusion.
我们一直强调这个禅修打坐的重要性。我们在从身口意来积功德时候，这个功德是有条件性的，而且是不是无限期的功德。但是我们打坐禅修积累的功德将是没有局限性的，而且是没有条件的。在我们打坐禅修的时候，我们熟悉这个圆满次第这个过程。当我们死亡的时候，元素消融到这个最本来的这个境界的时候，我们慢慢从这个打坐中来熟悉这个新的本性，这样我们就不会再陷入到这个迷惑的这个状态中去，我们能够得以解脱。举个例子来说，我们有一个空的玻璃瓶子，那这个玻璃瓶子内跟外都有这个空气，当有这个瓶子的时候，它内部的这个空间呢，空气呢就会是受这个瓶子的限制。当这个瓶子没有的时候，那么它这个内部的空气呢就会跟外部的这个空气融合在一起。我们通过这个破瓦的修行，能够意识到，而且觉醒到这个法性的这个无限的这个空间这个境界中去所以如果我们修行，那么我们是有解脱，我们可以解脱的方式如果我们没有熟悉这个 圆满次第这个修行的时候，那么我们还会再重新轮回到这个迷惑的境界中去。
So now we will begin the actual Phowa instructions. And so first, there's a telling of the lineage history. And so, of course, Guru Rinpoche came and spread the teachings, the lineage of the Dharma teachings to Tibet. And so Dharma King Chisong Ditsen invited Guru Rinpoche to Tibet. And the king had a minister, a specific minister, whose name was Nima, which means sun, sunlight. And this minister, due to some misfortune or unfortunate event, he had like a 3-story house, and his entire house was burnt up in a fire, an accidental fire. But his parents, his family, all of his loved ones, relatives, and all of his, so many sentient beings that were close to him happened to be in the house at the time that it became engulfed in flames. And so after this happened and everyone died, this minister was completely overwhelmed by intense grief and suffering. He wouldn't eat, he wouldn't talk. He was under such tremendous suffering. And so the king, Chisong Ditsen, worrying for this minister, went to Guru Rinpoche to seek counsel and request Guru Rinpoche's help and blessing to how he could alleviate this minister's grave suffering and release him from his sins, and so, or his negative karmas. So Guru Rinpoche, of course, was imbued with all manner of magical power, miraculous activity, since he was a siddha, an accomplished master, gained full accomplishment, an awakened being. So Guru Rinpoche went to Buddha Amitabha, and this is how it is said that these teachings originated, was that Buddha Amitabha spoke them to Guru Rinpoche, and Guru Rinpoche brought them back to Tibet.
现在我们开始破瓦法的讲解。首先讲这个破瓦法的这个传承。莲花生大师把这个佛法带到西藏，当时这个Dharma King 他的国王是Thubten，他有一个大臣叫 Nima 就是太阳的意思。这个大臣呢非常不幸，他有一个3层楼的这个房子，在这个一个意外的一个火灾中被烧毁了。他的很多亲爱的人，像他的父母、他的家庭、他的亲戚，都也不幸的被在这个火中。那么他这个Nima呢就非常的难过，他不吃也不说话。那这个国王呢就去请这个莲花生大师来帮助他，来减轻他的痛苦，来消他的这个业障。那莲花生大师已经是成就的，他呢就是去了这个阿弥陀佛去请教阿弥陀佛把这个法传给了莲花生大师。
And then Guru Rinpoche then spoke or gave these teachings to the minister named Nima. And this was a practice that did not need to be accomplished over a long period of time before the siddhis or the accomplishment was attained. So Nima then fully accomplished this practice in a very short time. All of the signs of attaining siddhis and accomplishment occurred for him. And not only that, but he also received the signs of being able to go back and rescue all of those relatives and his family and everyone who had died in the house that was burned down and lead them to the higher realms. And so after this, so then finally his mind was consoled, he was put at ease after this. And then later, for a while, the instructions were that he was not to spread these teachings yet, but instead they had to be hidden or concealed in the form of dharma or hidden treasure teachings to be later rediscovered. So they were then concealed as hidden treasure. And then at a future time, a treasure revealer by the name of Derden Nidak Sangye, who was none other than the reincarnation of that minister named Nima, Limbo Nima, then came and revealed, discovered these teachings, and then gradually a lineage continued as these teachings were disseminated, spread, and passed on in a lineage in this way.
莲花生大师就把这个破瓦法讲给了尼玛，这个法很特殊，不需要长时间的这个修行就可以圆满成就。尼玛修行了一阵以后，他就有这个他就成就了，而且他也收到了这个显现，就是他把这个在火灾中去世的这些众生都给送到了更高的这个境界中去，那么尼玛这个心情就平静下来。他后来这个法呢，就是成了一个佛藏就是佛藏，就是说这个法呢，就是当时没有再公开，但是把这个藏起来，然后后来被再重新的发现，这个重新发现的人呢，他叫Thubten Nima 桑中，他
德洞的意思就是佛藏是吗？
佛藏是Thubten Nima。
大长姐。
他那个Nima也跟那个以前的Nima大臣的名字是一样的。
So up until now, in all of the lineages of Buddhism in Tibet, you find a lineage and practice of Phowa, and although they differ in their sadhanas and the means of accomplishment, but actually they're all rooted in the same thing. So the root is the same, but there's just different styles or different variations depending on the lineage.
到现在呢，西藏的所有的传承中都有这个破瓦法，虽说它这个破瓦法的这个法本略有不同，但是它的这个根是一样的，它的本性是一样的，它只是这个形式上有些不同而已。
And so for the Phowa practice, first, I'm going to just give like a brief overview because it's in the text and also you have a picture here. But first you recite the Om Soboa mantra, and with this you dissolve into the expanse of emptiness. And then from out of the space of emptiness, your mind's nature arises in the form of Vajravarahi, appearing vividly but lacking any substantiality or solidity, appearing yet empty, like in the picture here, red, luminous, translucent in color, and not a material body that is composed of like solidity or corporeal form, but a nature of light, a light body that is appearing vividly yet empty. And all of the hand implements and everything are mentioned in the text, and also you can look at the picture as well.
现在开始讲这个破瓦的修行。首先给一个这个简介，我们有这个法本，还有这个图片。在我们念完这个空性的这个咒语之后，我们心升起这个Yogini Vajravarahi 这个亥母尊的这个像，就像这个刚才上师给的那个像，这个照片。他说他这个我们刚才说的这个不在这个法本中，但是在这个图片中。 那么就是我们自身升起像这个亥母尊类的形象。那么这个呢，不是我们像我们这个肉身是这个很实在的，而是一个红色的，是个光神，是光晕神，是个光晕神，非常的清楚，它又清晰呢，但是还有这个空性的本质。是在这个白色的这个法本中有讲到这个 The Profound Path of Phowa 在这里面。
First, I will just go over a brief summary overview, and then I have to give the oral transmission, and then I can teach this, and you can recite the practice. So first, self-nature arises as Vajravarahi, Dorje Pagmo. And above the crown of your head as Vajravarahi is Buddha Amitabha, which you have a picture for as well. There are different renditions of Buddha Amitabha according to the different lineages of practice. Sometimes Buddha Amitabha is depicted as sitting cross-legged, other times sitting in this posture. It doesn't matter so much how you visualize, but in any case, just have the understanding that you, self, is arising as Vajravarahi, and above the crown of your head is Buddha Amitabha. And know that Buddha Amitabha is the embodiment of all the Buddhas of the 3 times, without exception. And not only that, but Buddha Amitabha is none other than your own root Lama, your own root Guru, inseparably mingled and appearing as Buddha Amitabha.
我先要做一下简介这个破瓦法，然后呢会给一个口传，然后我们就可以共同修行。首先要观想呢自己的本性 self nature 是这个金刚亥母，自己是金刚亥母，金刚亥母的这个顶轮上呢是他把阿弥陀佛的像。阿弥陀佛的这个像呢，在不同的传承中有一些区别，有的是这个是坐着的，然后是盘腿，有的是像是这样坐在是没有盘腿是这样坐的，这个没有很大的区别，没有关系。他这个阿弥陀佛呢，就是跟这个我们的上师也是无二无别的。